Grenada. Get ready to celebrate the magic of the season with Christmas with GBN. Starting November 4th, join us weekdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon on GBN Television, K105 and Hot 98.
Monday kicks off with traditional stories and wellness, featuring a storytelling session with Labukan Creative Center, giveaways, nutrition tips, and live calls to share your holiday wishes. On Tuesday brings Craft Day with live and pre-recorded workshops guided by local artisans. Join us for more giveaways and connect through live calls. Wednesday features an outdoor production showcase, giving local sponsors a chance to shine from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. On Thursday, it highlights a local cuisine showcase at True Blueberry Resort. And on Friday, it wraps up the week with live entertainment in our studio, showcasing local artists and more opportunities for live calls. Don't miss out on the joy and togetherness this holiday season. Celebrate with us on Christmas with GBN.
26 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Good morning to you, Grenada, Carrier, Cupidi, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're having a great Tuesday thus far. It's Tuesday, the 26th day of November. Yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning. So good to be back with you. Yeah. Mary E. Banks, good morning. Michelle Daniel Yulin is there as always. Sharon Bartholomew, good morning. Michelle Bernard. Mildred Smith and Shem is there. Good morning to you both. Good morning to you, Zamora and Judy. Good morning, Catherine Phillip. Yep. Nice. All those of you out there in the diaspora, good morning. Hey, folks, I've got to share this with you. The management and staff of the Country Kitchen in St. George's, that's on St. John Street, would like to inform the general public that they will be closed today and remain closed until further notice. Circumstances way beyond their control, and they do apologize for any inconvenience that this closure may cause. All right? So those of you who rely solely on the Country Kitchen for your meals during the day, they will be closed from today on until further notice, all right? Please be guided accordingly. 26 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Good morning to Red Pat and family. Good morning to Eggies and Chief and everybody. Good morning. All those of you who tried reaching out yesterday, I mean, you made me feel good. I felt better when I was told the number of people that were, it's nothing serious, just an attack of what is called vertigo. Yeah, I woke up my normal time and was just drifting like a drunk man. Yeah, but I took my meds and I'm okay. Remember your health is your wealth, man. Health. Treat your body right, okay? Nice. Good. Good morning to the folks inside of Laborie and Song areas, St. Paul's. Mardi Gras, good morning. The word of the day today is exculpate. EXCULPATE.
Thank you for another.
Dorian, it's number 7 on your list, all right? Exculpate. Let's get it up on the TV.
Thank you for the
Thank you for another day.
Oh, yes,
Pastor Laurie, Dominic, and the First Family, good morning to you. Sister Nautica and the children. The congregation of the Wester Hall New Testament Church of God, good morning. The Birch Grove New Testament Church of God, Pastor Fletcher and family, good morning. Yeah, the word of the day, exculpate, EXCULPATE. To clear from a charge of guilt or fault, or free from blame, or in other words, to vindicate. Here's how we can use the word in a sentence. The lawyer worked tirelessly to exculpate his client and prove her innocence.
Yes, you are my savior.
Yeah, your records got exculpated.
Oh, Father.
Nice.
Thank you for the breath I breathe.
Good.
Oh, merciful Father.
Good morning to the folks inside of Munich and Mamacan and surrounding areas. Good morning, good morning, good morning. The folks inside of Cafe and Bacolet and yeah, Debbie. Good morning to the Sandersons, Kitty Cat and Ariel and Alwyn. Of course, Nadisha and the Holmes family. Good morning, Louie and family. All those of you in Croshow at McQueen Service Station. Good morning. Yeah. 4Ds, good morning. Yeah, Dwayne and everybody. Nice.
To the hills from whence cometh my
The motivational tip of the day is up next. Yeah.
heaven enough. I can't tell the future, neither can I say.
And it says, try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud.
But until my walk,
You know, there are some folks who try to be the cloud over your rainbow, right?
once I give my
Yeah, they all... I don't understand, man. People just like ugly things for others. You know, they create a rumor, they start a rumor, and they just spread it like wildfire. Be a rainbow in someone else's cloud today, all right?
not
Reach out to someone. It doesn't necessarily have to be physically
than to live.
or with tangible items, you know, but just some good words of encouragement.
Hear my cry.
Be your brother's keeper today. Find out what's going on. Are you okay? If the person gives you a standoff attitude, then you know, well, you know, you back up, but at least you tried. Reach out to someone today. The nutrition health tip is up next.
Oh, Father, I don't only want to talk the talk. Oh, merciful Father.
Follow these steps and you'll be fine. Drink lots of water.
Research studies have shown men are most susceptible to heart disease and heart failure throughout their lifetime, as this is the leading cause of death for men. The Center for Disease Control states that heart disease is often a silent killer that isn't diagnosed until signs and symptoms of heart attack, arrhythmia, an abnormal heart rhythm, or heart failure occurs. Heart disease is a broad name used to describe a number of ailments which affect the heart's function. A man is at risk of heart disease if he has an unhealthy diet, if he has uncontrolled diabetes, is overweight or obese, if he doesn't participate in regular physical activity, drinks alcohol, and smokes excessively. If your heart is unhealthy, you may experience symptoms such as feeling tired during the day, chest discomfort, particularly during exertion or activity, weakness or fatigue, swelling in the legs, belly area, feet, ankles, or hands, fainting and lightheadedness, easily getting short of breath, and fluttering in the chest. One of the easier ways to reduce the risk of heart disease is to have a healthy, balanced diet that does not contain foods that are high in saturated fats, sugar, salt, trans fat, and cholesterol. Instead, men should choose to eat more whole grains such as plain oatmeal, brown rice, and whole grain bread, ground provision, more vegetables and fruits like leafy greens, carrots, bananas, orange, plums, mangoes, and cherries, more protein-rich foods such as fish that is high in omega omega-3 fatty acids, lean meats, eggs, nuts and seeds, and peas and beans. It is also important to choose oils and oil-rich foods that are high in monosaturated and polyunsaturated fats like canola, olive, sesame, sunflower and soybean oils, almond nuts, salmon, avocado and tofu. Other things that can be done are to stop smoking, reduce alcohol consumption, keep active, and practice proper stress management. Stay updated with our social media platforms during the month of June for more information. Until next time, the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council reminds you to look, eat, and feel well.
Rolls ring a bell? Yes, they keep the body working.
18 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Why is it that men, why are we more at risk with heart disease? Is it because we are always easier heartbroken? Yeah? Is it that? Yeah, we're easy to get our hearts broken. That's why I don't study the horn, I study the maths, you know? Yeah. Good morning to the world out there. Let's see what's buzzing this morning. All right, Caribbean nations join forces to combat dengue and Abu viruses. In the region, United Nations Population Fund urges international support to deal with gender-based violence in Haiti. Internationally, storms threaten to disrupt the holiday travel across the U.S. And in sports, Guav makes a clean sweep of the major titles in the National Table Tennis Championships. And I'll try to get some information as to how West Indies is doing in the first test against Bangladesh. 17 minutes on to 7 o'clock. The AM edition of news comes up next. Just reminding you that the country kitchen will be closed from today until further notice, so please be guided accordingly. The management and staff do apologize for any inconvenience caused, all right? Good morning to you, Gigi Giles and Denzo. Daphne and Sylvie, good morning to each and every one of you. Auntie, good morning. Your boy is back. Feeling better. Nice. Folks, the AM edition is up next.
Served Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, everybody. My name is Renee Goodwin, and I am the marketing manager here at True Blue Bay Resort. And I am so excited to invite you all to join us every Thursday on GBN, starting from November 7th, as we count down to the holiday season, right here at True Blue Bay Resort, Grenada's best family-friendly resort for visitors and locals.
This is the GBN Morning News for today, Tuesday, November 26th, 2024. Coming up in the news, Caribbean nations join forces to combat dengue and Abu viruses. In the region, the United Nations Population Fund urges international support to deal with gender-based violence in Haiti. Internationally, storms threaten to disrupt holiday travel across the U.S. And in sports, Guav makes a clean sweep of the major titles in the National Table Tennis Championships. We've got the details of these and more after these messages.
Christmas is all about the moments we share, the smiles, the laughter, and the love that fills our homes. This season, let your walls reflect the warmth of family time. Sisson's Paint, match with every shade of togetherness. Celebrate 12 weeks of Christmas with Sissons. Buy one, get one 30% off on selected items. And with every purchase of any Sissons Paint, you get a chance to win US $100 every week for 12 weeks, from October 1st to December 22nd. Terms and conditions apply. Available at all Sissons hardware dealers nationwide. Sissons, internationally tested, brilliantly affordable.
Good morning. With the details, I am Gordon Joseph. With record-breaking increases in cases of dengue and other arboviral diseases globally, the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, in collaboration with the government of the Cayman Islands, UK Health Security Agency, and the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, hosted the Regional Vector-Borne Disease Workshop, Networking for Improved Responsiveness in Grand Cayman. The event brought together representatives from over 15 Caribbean nations to address the urgent threat of vector-borne diseases. The workshop provided a platform for regional and international experts to address critical thematic areas such as surveillance, laboratory diagnostics, community engagement, and vector control. In alignment with the Global Arbovirus Initiative, workshop participants benefited from exchanges on strengthening vector control, enhancing innovation, and building coalitions across sectors to tackle arboviruses with epidemic potential. Grenada recently marked a milestone in its journey toward financial empowerment for small businesses with a workshop held on November 20th to finalize the country's secured transactions policy. This initiative, led by the Ministry of Finance with support from the USAID Caribbean Business Enabling Environment CBR activity, implemented by International Development Group LLC, promises to improve the ease of doing business for micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises by facilitating greater access to finance and expanding opportunities for investment, growth, and employment. The workshop brought together a diverse group of over 30 stakeholders from financial institutions, government ministries, regulatory authorities, legal professionals, and private sector associations to review and provide critical input on the proposed Secured Transaction Framework, or STF. This policy framework introduces the use of movable assets such as vehicles, equipment, and receivables as collateral for loans, diversifying financing options, and moving away from the traditional reliance on immovable assets like land and real estate. The secured transactions policies has been shaped through extensive consultations with 41 participants across various sectors, ensuring the policy aligns with international best practices while addressing the specific needs of Grenada's private sector. This recent workshop marks the culmination of these efforts, bringing Grenada closer to a final policy document that is inclusive, comprehensive, and effective. The Environment Division in the Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy has embarked on a comprehensive review of Grenada's National Environmental Management Strategy and draft legislation. This critical initiative, supported by the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, the OECS, is part of Grenada's commitment to environmental sustainability as outlined in the St. George's Declaration Principles. Originally developed in 2005, the strategy is being updated nearly 2 decades later to address emerging environmental challenges and align with modern sustainability goals. The draft legislation is also undergoing enhancements to ensure its effectiveness in safeguarding Grenada's natural resources. And finally, climate change, the environment and the survivability of small island states like Grenada and other OECS countries take center stage at this year's Sir Archibald Ned Memorial Lecture organized by the Grenada Bar Association. The landmark 20th event takes place at the Grenada Trade Center on June 28th, that's this Thursday, 28th November, and will be delivered by climate change envoy and economist Dr. Lina Spencer-Thomas. The lecture begins at 6:30 p.m. Just back from the November 11 to 22nd COP29 International Climate Change Summit in Baku, Azerbaijan, Dr. Spencer-Thomas will deliver on the topic, Climate Change and the Environment, Will Small Island States Survive? One of the areas of focus of the COP29 summit was how much money richer developed countries should provide poorer developing countries to help them fight climate change. Grenada has felt the brunt of the climate change crisis this year with the devastating passage of Hurricane Beryl in July, ravaging Carriacou, Pidi-Martinique and the northern part of Grenada, and destructive flooding and landslides caused by consistent heavy rainfall in November. That concludes the first segment of the news, the regional roundup, international developments, along with the sports and the weather. They are straight ahead. It's 6 minutes on to 7 o'clock. We now join the Caribbean News Desk for this morning's edition of the Regional Roundup.
From the Caribbean News Desk, the morning edition. Good morning. I'm Kendall Morgan.
And I'm Dennis Chabot with the latest from across the Caribbean.
The United Nations was yesterday evacuating staff from Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, as armed gangs continue to expand control of large parts of the city and to increase the clashes with the police. UN reports say one of its helicopters was taking small groups from the capital to northern Haiti, and some people were leaving the country. A U.S. Air Force aircraft was also reported to be in Haiti to remove some American diplomats. Other embassies and some international aid organizations were also said to be scaling back operations on the Haitian capital, where the airport remains closed to commercial flights after 2 aircraft were hit by gunfire earlier this month.
Every Surinamese will receive a share in royalties of $750 with an interest of 7% per year. This announcement was made yesterday by President Chandrika Prasad Santokhi at the reception. He said that there has been an enormous positive impact of the $10 billion final investment decision by Total Energies. The Surinamese leader said that the financial instrument will offer Surinamese a share in future oil royalties and make them de facto owners of Suriname's natural assets. Mr. Santokhi said Suriname must now translate that positive impact into opportunities for the people of that country, especially in the area of education and business.
Citing concerns about increasing non-attendance and non-registration of students in schools, Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness says some of the country's education officers will double as truancy officers to arrest the problem.
I have asked the Minister of Education to establish specific truancy officers in all regions. They must go out after examining their register and see who is not attending, knock on those doors, find those students who are not attending school and bring them back to school. The government stands ready to provide the support for those students. We cannot allow students to be out of school.
Jamaica's central bank is keeping an eye on planned immigration and trade policies by the United States incoming Donald Trump administration. The Trump election campaign campaign promises had included tariffs on Chinese and other goods, a cut in taxes, mass deportation of illegal foreigners, and an increase in U.S. oil supplies. The Bank of Jamaica's Deputy Governor Robert Stennett says preliminary modeling has begun, though the central bank will have to wait greater clarity on what the U.S. will consider more feasible to do.
We're aware that GDP estimates, the impact on GDP estimates range anywhere between 1% to 2% on the U.S. economy. When we take those into consideration, we also consider that inflation in the U.S. could rise, and where prices coming out of the U.S. are higher, then those will affect us here in Jamaica. Broadly speaking, these policies are likely to affect expectations, but to the extent that Jamaican nationals are involved, the diaspora are affected. To the extent that these things happen, then remittance flows could be affected, and maybe other potential foreign exchange flows could be affected.
Guyana yesterday passed open data legislation but prohibits the disclosure of certain types of information. Government says the open data law will empower citizens and institutions to use data as a tool for innovation, economic growth, and more efficient governance. Prime Minister Mark Phillips says the aim is to ensure data is used safely and responsibly.
Mr. Speaker, naturally, we expect concerns to be raised about the risks associated with making public data more accessible. These concerns, while valid, are adequately addressed in the safeguards embedded in the bill. Clauses 11 and 15 of the bill strictly prohibit the disclosure of non-public data assets and impose severe penalties for breaches of confidentiality. This ensures that private, sensitive, and classified information remains secure.
Opposition, a Partnership for National Unity and Alliance for Change parliamentarian Annette Ferguson told the House that the Commissioner of Information, Charles Ramsden, is not performing his duties.
My contention here, Mr. Speaker, you're giving the Commissioner of Information extra duties when you know for a fact that this gentleman is not doing anything.
That's your view. So that's why I'm saying keep the personal view. When he's here to defend himself, we could go down that road.
This has been the morning edition from the Caribbean News Desk. You may contact us by phone or WhatsApp at +592 700 9293. Thanks for listening.
Politics. That's why Rootsman Kelly said polycomedians. Hearing a lot of comedy in politics. Looking further afield, Donald Trump's incoming border czar, Tom Homan, has vowed to slash federal funding to states that do not cooperate with the administration's promises of mass deportations of undocumented migrants. Several states, including California, Illinois, New Mexico, and Arizona, have vowed to push back against Trump's plans, and legal challenges are near certainty. Trump has said he plans to use the U.S. military to conduct the deportations, and Homan has said he guarantees that federal funding can be wielded as a tool against jurisdictions that stand in the way. There are at least 13 million undocumented migrants living in the U.S. Egyptian authorities say 17 people are missing, including foreigners, and 28 have been rescued after a tourist boat sank in the Red Sea. According to the governor of the Red Sea, a province distress signal was received from the Sea Story, which left port near Marsa Alam on Saturday for a 5-day diving trip with 31 tourists and 14 crew. Major General Amir Hanafi said the survivors were found in the Wadi El Gamal area south of Marsa Alam and that they were receiving the necessary medical care. He added that the Egyptian Navy warship El Fatah and military aircraft were intensifying their efforts to locate the missing. According to the local council in Marsa Alam, the crew of the Sea Story are all Egyptians, and the tourists on board include British, Spanish, German, US, Slovakian, Swiss, Belgian, Polish, Norwegian, Irish, Finnish, and Chinese nationals. That's the regional and international news. Stay with us. The sporting highlights are straight ahead. Good morning, sporting fans. The Guav table tennis players made a clean sweep of the major titles in the Grenada Table Tennis National Championship played at the Public Workers Union Center on Saturday. Their male and female players were unstoppable in both the junior and senior events. In the individual events, open singles, most of the finals featured both players from Guav. Quanell Walker won the boys under 20 with a superb victory over Cedric Macaires, 11-9, 6-11, 11-7, 11-9. Shondell Straker captured the boys under 15 in 4 exciting straight sets, 12-10, 8-11, 5-11, 9-11 against Jonick Mack. The girls on their 15, Mia Clovery, scored a competitive 11-9, 11-6 win against Lynn Copland of the St. Joseph's Convent. Nisha Noel played consistently to outfox Jamin Lee in boys under 13, scoring 11-7, 10-12, 11-8, 11-8. The novice boys champions is Wayne Clovery, defeating Kadim Rennick in straight sets. The men's singles are an all-Guav affair, with the winner between Shamal Williams and Dwayne Newland playing Cedric Macaires in the final later this week. The men's veterans 55 years and over will be contested this Wednesday at the PWU from 6. Interested people can register just before the start of the event. In other events, the women's team of Rose Newland, Dia Forrester, and Anik Bonaparte defeated St. Joseph's Convent St. George's 3-0 to win the title in a round-robin playoff, which then featured the 2 top teams in the final. The Guav men's team was extended to the maximum 5 matches, defeating Warriors 3-2 to capture the title. Anthony Forsyth gave Warriors a winning start with an upset win over Shamal Williams 3-1, and Ray Roberts followed up, making it 2-0 with another 3-1 victory at D1 Newland. However, the table turned in the doubles. The Guav team of Cornell Walker and Dwayne Newland beat Trevor Raybon and Anthony Forsyth in straight sets, 11-9, 11-6, 11-9, to make the score 1-2 or 2-1. In the first of the 2 reverse singles, Walker beat Trevor Raybon 11-6, 11-7, 11-1 to level the scores of 2 matches all. Shamal Williams then defeated Ray Roberts in straight sets, 11-3, 11-8, 11-9, giving Guav the championship title 3-2. The tournament, played over 2 Saturdays, attracted just over 70 entries. And cricket fans, well, West Indies seem poised to win, although the win probability is saying they both got a 0.1 chance of a draw. But in the first test, West Indies batting first, scored 450 declared. In reply, Bangladesh made 269 for 9 and also declared. In the second innings, West Indies were all out for 142, and batting second, Bangladesh, they're currently on 109 for 7, and this is day 5. All right. The bowling for West Indies, Kemar Roach, 8 overs, 1 maiden, 20 runs, 3 wickets. Jaden Sales, 9 overs, 3 maidens, 31 runs, 3 wickets. Shamar Joseph, 6 overs, 22 runs, 1 wicket. Alzari Joseph and Justin Graves are yet to get a wicket. We look forward to the results of this match. And folks, that's the sports. Stay with us. The weather forecast is straight ahead.
This holiday holiday season, get ready for a magical celebration packed with culinary delights, crafts, and music that will bring joy to your heart. But that's not all. Lots of giveaways are waiting for you. Stay tuned and make this Christmas one to remember only with GBN.
And folks, for the latest weather forecast, we join forecaster at the Met Office of the MBIA, Jared Tamer. Good morning, Jared.
Hi, good morning to you, and good morning to all the listeners of the network. Let's take a look at the weather for today, Tuesday. Well, conditions down here at Points Leads and most parts of our Tri-Island states. Conditions are fair. Winds easterly at 14 miles an hour. Barometric pressure 13.2 millibars, and that is normal. Current temperature 27.7 degrees Celsius or 81.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Relative humidity is now 82%. Yesterday, maximum temperature recorded was 31.4 Celsius or 88.5 Fahrenheit. Sorry. Last night's minimum was 27 degrees Celsius or 80.6 Fahrenheit. At Points Lanes, over the last 24 hours, we had 3.8 millimeters of rainfall, bringing the total for the month so far to 248.8 millimeters. Let's turn our attention now to the public forecast, and this is valid for today and tonight for Grenada, Carriacou, and the Petite Martinique. Conditions are expected to be partly cloudy, becoming cloudy at times with light to moderate showers. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Seas moderate to rough with easterly swells, waves 6 to 8 feet. And because of this, a marine advisory remains in effect. Tides are currently rising. High tide will be at 11:59 this morning. Low tide will be this evening at 7:35. Maximum temperature today should get up to around 31.5 degrees Celsius, which is somewhere around 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunset today, 5:39. Sunrise tomorrow, 11 minutes after 6. So just to repeat the public forecast, remembering again it's valid for today and tonight for Grenada, Carriacou, and the Petite Martinique. Conditions are expected to be partly cloudy, becoming cloudy at times with light to moderate showers. And the sea is moderate to rough with easterly swells, waves 6 to 8 feet. And because of all of this, a marine advisory remains in effect. So from the Met Office at MBIA, Jerry Tamer.
Jerry, just before you run off, looking in your crystal ball, the kind of weather that we got last week, are you seeing any signs of that again?
Well, not within the next 24 hours, at least.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
Same to you, bye.
Folks, the weather forecast came to you with the kind compliments of Rennick and Thompson Company Limited.
If you are 50 years and over or turning 50 in 2024, our 50-plus car insurance is perfect for you. It's loaded with free benefits like loss of use, special perils, and windscreen cover up to $2,500. Getting to 50 is filled with ups and downs. Let's celebrate these moments together and look forward to 50 more. Call Beacon Insurance at 440-4447 or log on to beacongrenada.com to get a free quote today. Special conditions apply.
10 minutes after 7 o'clock to end the news, a recap of the headlines. The Caribbean nations join forces to combat dengue and Abu viruses. In the region, the United Nations Population Fund urges international support to deal with gender-based violence in Haiti. Internationally, storm threatens to disrupt holiday travel across the U.S. and in sports. Guav makes a clean sweep of the major titles in the National Table Tennis Championships, and West Indies seems to be dominating in the first test against Bangladesh. That has been the morning edition of news for today, Tuesday, the 26th day of November. On behalf of the entire news department, I'm Gordon Joseph, thanking you for listening, wishing you a productive day, and extending the invitation to you to stick and stay with the network, because we are with you anywhere and everywhere.
The holiday seasons are upon us. The makers of Grenada's #1 premium rum are ready to grant your Christmas rum wish. Enter our Dear Clark's Court Christmas promotion for a chance to win. Every purchase of 3 750 milliliters bottles of Clark's Court products grants the customer an entry into the Dear Clark's Court promotion. The customer must complete their letter that will be provided asking Clark's Court to grant their Christmas rum wish. On the wish list, the customer will ask for 1 bottle of product of their choice that they want Clark's Court to grant them for the season. After the customer completes their letter, it will be placed in a box to be drawn on the selected promotion date. Every product will be available on the wish list with the exception of Clark's Court 50th anniversary rum. The promotion will run at Nick's Barrel House and on all authorized Clark's Court sales then only. This promotion will feature 6 draws that will be announced on our social media pages. Enter today for a chance to let Clark's Court grant your rum wish. Drink responsibly. Must be 18 years and older to enter.
If you're working for a while, come by Courts, I'll make you smile. Courts Black Friday come around. We are the best prices in town. Black Friday starts now at Courts. Yeah, it's back. Courts Black Friday. I tell you, hurry fast. Traffic on the highway. You know we got unbeatable prices. And furniture, electronics, and appliances. Are you coming? Say yeah. Weekly prices. Biggest and best deals of the season. Shop and credit to win big. And bend your finger till next year, February. Rock out and come down to Courts. Courts already load. Courts already load. Black Friday start. Courts already load. And go when Black Friday come out. Where are you come out? Where are you from? I was leave free promotion. It is on Monday. Somebody send out the warning.
Spend $50 or more at any Hubbard's department or participating outlets for a chance to win free fuel, free drinks, free prizes, free property and vehicle insurance, free Hub TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free Dutch Lady milk, free passes to Sunshine promotion events for 2024, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a free lunch package. But that's not all. Drive away in style in a brand new Isuzu D-Max. It sips, it doesn't guzzle. So fill out your entries and place them into the marked entry boxes. This promotion is brought to you in part by Dutch Lady, Danny, Promo, Supreme Bleach, Creative Chef, Grenlac, Floor, Salt Petroleum, Grenadian General Insurance Company Limited, Coca-Cola, Sunshine Promotion, Caribberies, Coop Bank, Sesame Spain, and Food Fear. Promotion runs from April 2nd to December 24. Terms and conditions apply.
For the past 8 months, we've poured our hearts into this journey.
We've honed our talents,
embraced our culture, and dedicated ourselves to something greater.
Now it's time to share it with you.
On November 30th,
step into a world of elegance, beauty, and purpose at the Grenada Trade Center. Join us as we inspire, captivate, and represent the beauty and strength of Grenadian women.
This is more than a pageant. It's a night of unforgettable talent and elegance.
Expect show-stopping performances from Grenada's top artists alongside the grace and passion of each contestant.
Don't miss the Miss Grenada Pageant 2024.
The beauty meets purpose.
Mark your calendars for November 30th at the Grenada Trade Center.
Miss Grenada Pageant, shaping a brighter future for Grenada, one empowered woman at a time.
Good morning and welcome. It's 16 minutes after 7 o'clock. Welcome to the conversation this morning. And I'd like to make this disclaimer up front, right? Going forward, because of occurrences in the past, going forward, whenever we're having the conversation, right? Please, I always say that, keep your conversation, your contributions respectable and in line. And going forward, anytime that you deviate from those parameters, your contribution will be cut, because it's giving me a kind of appearance that I am not, right? So I'm not going to accommodate any disrespectful contributions, tones and everything like that, and especially as it relates to rebutting to someone's previous comments. Okay? Just letting you know up front this morning. All right? I don't think we'll have that problem this morning because it's a very somber morning, a very important but somber morning this morning. I have with me in the studio Dr. Mackenzie. She is the coordinator for the Pearl Project. And it's a good time to say good morning. They were with me last week or the week before, I think it was last week, because of the inclemency of the weather. We couldn't have done the program. But this week we're here to continue sensitizing you, the general public, on the Pearl Project. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And good morning to your listeners as well.
Yes, and the viewers too.
And viewers.
All right.
All those locked into the program this morning.
Yeah, they're always locked and packed with me. All right, so just to go back a bit, right? Repetition creates learning. That's what we were taught, right? So let's repeat. What is the Pearl Project? What Pearl really means?
Okay, so the OECS Pearl is actually the OECS Program for Educational Advancement and Relevant Learning.
Okay, PEARL.
That's
okay,
right.
good.
The Pearl.
Okay.
Yes.
I like that name. I like that name. And right, so now that you've heard that, we've established that, what is the Pearl real intentions? What was it really expected to deliver?
Well, let me preface the actual goal of the project with the fact that the project is an education support or an education enhancement project for the OECS. And it sought, or should I say seeks, to support the member states in their implementation of the OECS education sector strategy. Okay, the project itself, the OECS Pearl, seeks to expand access to quality education and to improve student achievement at the basic education level. And basic education, because we're just working up to primary, so we're doing early childhood, that's preschools. We're doing some work in primary schools and in special ed schools. We're not venturing into secondary at this time. So just the basic education level.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, it is said once you get a good base
foundation. Yes.
Yeah, the foundation is critical. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so far, as you said before we came on the set, it's in its fourth year, right?
Yes. Yes.
All right. I'm not certain that the public is quite aware of that, but in the rolling out the pilot aspects of it that you've rolled out, what has the response been thus far?
Well, quite favorable, you know. The thing is that it's not just when you say pilot, and pilot, generally when people hear pilot, they think about just the curriculum part of the project. But we have other components of the project that has yielded benefits for our schools. So we have the early childhood and SEN. We have, yes, the curriculum and assessment. We have school leadership.
Okay.
So we've had our schools benefiting significantly from the project. We've had a lot of professional development, capacity building, and we also a lot of procurement taking place too.
Right,
we're providing resources for schools. This is one of those projects where I can comfortably say that resources are actually getting to classrooms. You know, sometimes you have a project and we just have a set of meetings and we eat and we eat and we eat, and then nothing gets to the classrooms. This particular project ensures that we get resources into the hands of students. So we're quite proud to be able to say that.
And the funding for this project comes from?
The Global Partnership for Education.
Okay, and why did they fund such a program? Did they do an assessment of the region, the OECS region, and realize that there were things that needed to be done differently and decided to throw some money into that?
Well, The Global Partnership seeks to provide support for education, to transform education sectors in about 90 countries worldwide. We are members of the partnership. And we joined the partnership in 2016. And since then, we've had the opportunity to access grants for education transformation in the region. So in 2016, we collaborated as a sub-region to develop the OECS Education Support Project. And that actually formed the basis of a lot of the work we're doing in Nepal today. So for instance, we had the development of standards for curriculum. And we are building on those standards now to actually develop a new curriculum.
Okay.
And we also had them fund the COVID-19 accelerated response. So we got some support from them as well. So we continue to get support. And even after the poll, we'll continue to get support. We actually have support in the pipeline right now.
And from a governmental standpoint, are there any interventions from the government in terms of financial injections or so forth?
Well, there's always a local line. You know, we have the grant portion, but there's always a little bit that government will put in. But I want to publicly acknowledge the collaboration of government, particularly in Component 1, because we are doing a bit of refurbishment of some of the preschools, and the truth is the government of Grenada has been the one to foot most of the bill. Okay. So they've pumped money into the refurbishment of the preschools that we're working with.
Okay, now with the Pearl program, right? The Pearl project.
Just say the Pearl, no?
The Pearl, right? The Pearl, yeah. That makes it sounds. It makes it sound cute. Yeah, the Pearl, you know, right? The individual student, how does it impact them? And from your assessment, have you gotten positive reviews?
Well, if I were to start from early childhood, we've procured quite a lot of resources for some specific centers. Lots of resources. Now, these students are in the preschools, and we want to make sure that they have a rich experience. The teachers have so much resources now, they almost don't know what to do with the resources. So we actually have to provide the support to help them to
utilize the
exactly
resources.
Because so many resources.
That is unheard of.
Unheard of.
That is unheard
of. Yes, it is. Yes. But when we think about special education needs, we procured some assistive devices recently, and we distributed them at the end of the last quarter. That was in September. These students are actually benefiting from tangibly in the classroom, so they can access the education that's available to them. So we had students who receive iPads. We have students actually utilizing other tools to help them, sensory tools and materials to help them to be able to settle enough to be able to access the education that's being provided. We have the teachers themselves being equipped so that they could support these students that have special education needs in their classrooms. We do talk about quality education for all, and not just the Pearl or the OECS itself, but the global partnership as well. That's the vision really, to ensure that we have quality education provided for all students.
Okay. Now, a very key thing is, you touched it, but in terms of resources, are you providing training for teachers?
Oh, lots and lots and lots.
Like external training and so forth.
So let me go back a little bit. Yeah, we're in the fourth year of the project, but very early we ensured that curriculum officers, for instance, and some other educators, we have principals, teacher educators, special ed officers, early childhood officers, were trained to be able to develop curriculum. So they actually did a professional certification with the University of the West Indies and the joint board. Okay. We did some creative arts training recently. We had about 33 educators benefit from that. That was actually run by the Global Campus, UE. We had 30 school leaders benefit from school leadership certification as well. That was through UE Mona. So that's how seriously we're taking building the capacity of teachers. On top of that, we've actually developed a comprehensive professional development program for the OECS countries. So we actually have teachers who are able to log in to the learning platform and complete courses. Now, yes, we are piloting this program, but eventually the program will belong to the member states, and the teachers themselves will be able to benefit more directly from the program.
Wow. One of the critical areas from a regional perspective, Grenada hasn't been doing as well as it could or should be doing in the area of mathematics. Is the Pearl taking that into consideration and, not sensitizing, but creating avenues to train our teachers in mathematics?
Well, maybe I might not say directly in mathematics. The challenge we've always spent a lot of resources on literacy. So we've done lots of projects. We had the Early Learners program from the OECS as well. We've had quite a lot of initiatives, all geared at supporting improvement in literacy. We have the collaboration with Grenada Schools Inc. and so on. We have collaborations with Hands Across the Sea, all literacy. Now, when it comes to numeracy, we've not invested as much. Now, as we reflect on what has been happening throughout the region, it's not just something in Grenada. We wanted to first begin by ensuring that the teachers themselves were involved in the development of the curriculum. So we started there to ensure that we created a curriculum that students could access, that students are able to succeed. We want to ensure that every learner that attempts math in a classroom can succeed. So we've begun there. We've had some work that was done with some educators. We actually accessed a conference that equipped some curriculum officers to be able to support teachers to help their students to improve in math, science, reading. So it's something that we continue to work toward. Now, remember the Pearl itself, at the end of the Pearl, we still have other opportunities for enhancing these areas too. Okay?
All right. Wow, that's interesting. Now, with the Pearl rolling out now, right? How integrally involved are our local educators in the structuring and planning and executing of the Pearl?
When you say local educators, you're talking about the teachers in the classroom?
Yes.
Well, the project seeks to serve them, right? So as we implement any aspect of the Pearl, we collaborate with the beneficiaries. The truth is, yes, the Ministry of Education might be leading this. The OECS Commission might be supporting us in doing that, but at the end of the day, they're the actual beneficiaries. So we collaborate with them. We're not doing any of this alone. Even at the governance level of the local governance level, we collaborate with other entities. So we have the Teacher Education Department. We have the Association of the National School Boards. We have the Grenada Union of Teachers. So we're not doing this alone. Then we've been collaborating with the early childhood unit to ensure that we can work with their teachers to improve their practices as well. So we've had some sessions to support them in integrating play into their classrooms. We even have some training coming up for them next term that will prepare them to be able to do the same thing, enhance their ability to be able to integrate play in an early childhood setting. Remember that even when they're playing, they're learning, right?
Yeah, well, right. I yearn for the day when we get more real in disseminating knowledge. Sometimes the classroom setting could be so crammed and so stoic.
You're afraid to say boring, eh?
Boring is
yes,
the word.
Boring.
Yes, that's the word. But I was trying to be a little bit diplomatic because I was a teacher, so I want to come rub it off like that, But I would like to, because I've looked at some models, right? And for example, I think it's in Singapore or the Philippines, one of them.
We talk about Singapore and Finland a lot. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and the module that they use, children are excited to be in the classroom. But we find cases here where children are looking for when that bell would ring for the phone. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So are we going to implement this out of...
And that's why this project is so important for a lot of us. We have 20 schools, for instance. Let me give you an example. We have 20 schools right now that benefited from some funding to be able to enhance the development of their school improvement plans. That's it. So they developed what we call CSSI plans, continuous school and system improvement plans. The purpose of the grant they received was to enhance the teaching and learning processes at their school. We wanted them to focus on these persistent problems that they've been facing. Numeracy is one of them. We have literacy in a few places too, but numeracy is a big one as well. So they've procured resources, done professional development, and they're actually ensuring that they monitor the implementation of the programs so that they can see improvement over time. Now, we've had quite a few principals talk about how this initiative has helped them, not just to help the students improve, but because the students are improving, we have parents that want to move their children from one school to another because we have this program being run in these selected schools. So the students are definitely benefiting. We're seeing the needle being moved. I mean, it'll take some time to but we're seeing the needle moving, and I think that's what is exciting us really. Yes, it really is. So you might have seen we had some work being done at we had some math activity at St. Mary's sometime last year. I think it was a math carnival. There was something at Blessed Sacrament, respelling. We've had work at St. Louis RC Girls. All that is a pearl.
Right. And as it relates to in order to properly execute, we must have the physical, the infrastructural aspect of it. Is any part of the pearl enhancing the physical classrooms per se with smart boards? And
no, we've not gone smart boards yet. We've not gone smart boards. The truth is, the resources that we are providing for, particularly in the preschools and in those schools that are implementing the CSSI, there is heavily manipulative. So they have those resources. But when it comes to the physical environment, the schools that are benefiting from the physical environments are those preschools that we're working with.
Okay.
So far, we've completed work completely in 3. Right now, we're just finishing New Hampshire preschool. So in short order, you'll hear us talk. We'll hear that we'll actually going to hand over that particular one. So and that is a collaboration with the government of Grenada as well. So we've not done any of these refurb works without heavy involvement from the government of Grenada.
Wow. So in essence, Pearl could be used, can be seen as a transformative tool for the education sector in Grenada.
Certainly.
Yeah, I really like this. Now, in order for any of this to be most effective, we must have the engagement of the parents and by extension the general population. So how do you intend to engage with the communities?
Well, besides the work that we're doing with media, collaboration with media, we are actually going into communities. So this week, for instance, we are going to St. Andrew. So we'll be at the St. Andrew's Methodist School on Thursday from 5:30, and we'll get a chance there to engage the public about 2 components of the project. So we'll be paying attention to components 1 and 2. So we'll talk about early childhood, special education, and of course the curriculum. So we'll actually do a demo. So I hope you come by so you can see a demo of the new curriculum. Yes,
I definitely will try to.
And that's just the first one. We hope that we plan to move it around. We start in St. Andrews, but we'll go to other parishes as well, and we'll have other areas of focus. Even next week, we'll have a lot of focus on special education because it's International Disabilities Day next week.
Okay.
Yes, so they'll be paying attention to that next week as well. Okay. So yes, we engage in the public via the media. We're going into communities, and talking about going into communities, when we implemented that prevalence survey for SEN during the second year of the project, it brought to light that we had quite a few students who had special needs but were not in school. Now, are we just going to collect the data and leave it there? No. We have education officers, special ed education officers, who have gone into those communities to prepare students to transition into school. Okay. Yes, and that has happened. We actually featured a story last quarter with one of those. The officer physically going to the home of these students to help them and prepare them for school. So we have about 4 of them that have transitioned into school so far because of those efforts. And we found those children because of the work we were doing with the Pearl.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm happy to hear that you have the community engagement aspect of it, because you might be surprised someone comes from the floor and has a brilliant idea that you can incorporate into the Pearl. So,
and not just the Pearl, because remember, there will be definitely another education sector project that we can enhance as well.
Yeah.
So yes, this is year 4. We have one more year after that, so we conclude in 2026. June 2026. Okay. But beyond that, we'll have some other work that we will start in special ed and early childhood and the other components as well, through funding from the Global Partnership, but not under the Pearl. So we continue to build.
Wow.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Well, of course, as always, the GBN is always willing and ready to embrace the initiatives that you push. When I say you and Pearl and your global partnership and everything. So once that time comes, as a matter of fact, throughout Pearl, we would have some continued engagement.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we'd definitely love to have that. So again, just to remind the folks in St. Andrew, this Thursday, it is at this St. Andrew's Methodist School. Starts at 5:30?
5:30, yes.
And who will be the facilitators there?
Well, we'll have the Chief Education Officer, and I'm the National Coordinator, so I'll be there. And we have some other Deputy Chief Education Officers who will be providing some support and sharing about what's happening in their area. And of course, Mr. John L. Mitchell, who was with me last time, will be there to do the demo of the digital OHPC.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, thank you very much again, Dr. Mackenzie, for sharing with us, and we look forward to more and more information as we go forward.
We'll be back.
And I am excited. I am not in the classroom actively anymore, but as it relates to education, I am always very excited, because I know what the classroom could be like without this sort of interjection. So thank you, and continue doing your great work, you and your team. And we look forward for continued conversations.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Folks, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere. It's 22 minutes on to 8 o'clock.
Tourism is me. Tourism is you. Tourism is everybody, and tourism connects us all.
Did you know that tourism generates revenue and foreign exchange earnings?
Did you know it stimulates infrastructural development and facilitates cultural exchange among people?
You must know tourism is linked to all industries,
from agriculture to construction.
So support the industry today and be welcoming to all our visitors.
Tourism is my business. Tourism is your business. Tourism is our business. Listen, one and all. Tourism connects us all.
A message from the Ministry of Tourism
and the Grenada Tourism Authority.
And so it begins. A journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
Grenada Duty Free and GBN, we're partnering for this Christmas season. Folks, it's going to be a bumper one. We can actually start feeling the energy, the vibe is start building, the promotions that start coming in, and the fragrances, the chocolate. We have up to 15%, 20%, 40%. It's going to be a crazy one. We are looking forward to seeing you. We are ready to treat you guys special. We are ready to give back to you after this whole year of, being with us and everything and the support. So with our partnership with GBN, it's going to be a bumper season. Looking forward to seeing you guys.
Proud sponsors of Christmas with the GBN includes Ace Hardware, Hubbard's, Flow, Duty Free Caribbean, and I'm Supportings.
All right, welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the conversation. It's 18 minutes on to 8 o'clock. And if you're just joining us, welcome on board. It's so good to have you here with us. And I'm going to use that time to give you an opportunity to talk about... there's so many things to talk about. I will not be prejudicial and say what I want to talk about. There's something that we have to talk about, but we need a whole hour to talk about it. So I look forward to doing that later in the week. But at this time, I'd just open the line. If there is anything of concern that you'd like to raise, this is your opportunity to do just that. Remember, we're being respectful. We're going to tone it down. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Innocent.
Hi.
Irrespective as to how you think, I think I'm very respectful. I'm not saying you didn't think and I'm very respectful. No, but I want to say, I come to you. I'm not saying it. That I've listened to this lady that recently been with you on your recent program, the last program. And this is what I love to hear. But what bothers me, education could be transmitted and should be transmitted by people like you and others like you. Now, what do I mean by that? It is because what you put out is that what you get. So you are an educator, you are not an educator in this school. If you say good, or you teach good, or you impart good knowledge and good skill and good attitude, the public who are listening to you, would definitely learn. And so please don't say you are not an educator. You are not a formal educator in the school with the youths. But the youths and the age are learning something from you, whether good or bad. And this is what people don't understand. As for me, I listen skillfully, and I'll tell you something why I listen skillfully. The lady said something as mathematics. In mathematics, now we are still using computation with the British system. Now the system we should be constantly using now, or using most often, is the metric system, because it's much more accurate, better, and easier, and we should use it in a tangible way. Every method of education should be done in a practical way. And thank you very much for listening to me. I hope you learn, and other people learn too. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Have a good morning, all right? Thank you. All right, it's 15 minutes on to 8 o'clock. I have a comment here from someone on WhatsApp. Unfortunately, I would say it's a relatively incomplete kind of contribution. Let me just take this call. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Greetings, Mr. Joseph.
Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Let me refer first of all to that disclaimer. What is it you all really want to tell people by that, Mr. Joseph? Be careful with your tone and all that. So that you all planning to censor people in this here country? No.
Not censor, but
we ain't going down that road at all.
No, it's not censor, but sometimes we find
I'm listening.
Yeah, we find that sometimes
let's go to the meat of the matter so we don't waste time. This morning, Mr. Joseph, I'd like to throw out a plea to the Grenadian people. I wish they'd listen well. A little history. From December 1979, just around the time after the ship came in and brought some heavy equipment and so on, when the government of Cuba agreed to assist the government of Grenada in the construction of an international airport in Point Saline, a member of the senior staff of the airport was charged with chronologically documenting the procedures from thence to the termination of the job. And it was done in two ways. Still photos, which I recall very well, on a weekly basis was sent then to Benji's studio in Antigua to get processed and brought back and kept in the office with their corresponding negatives. Then that means that over the years, hundreds, if not thousands, of still photos was in the office at the time of the invasion of the country by marauding Yankee forces. This collection also included scores, if not hundreds, of VHS video cassettes. Trying to say here, Mr. Joseph, that there were recordings of many of the serious occurrences that happened during that time of the construction. The cleaning of the entire perimeter, the drilling of the mountains, the blasting, the movement of the earth, the compaction, the dredging of Hardy Bay, the blowing down of the I recall that historic moment, the blowing down of the lighthouse after it was stripped and so on. Every day, Mr. Joseph, day and night. But when the Yankees, the marauding, the criminal Yankee forces invaded Grenada, they stole them, Mr. Joseph, they stole them because they were removed from the ownership, the Grenada International Airport project, thus the people and government of Grenada. There is nothing that can be found, Mr. Joseph, so that the people of this country can see with modern technology and the development of films and documentaries, in other words, a history of what our people did with the assistance of the Cuban brothers and sisters that came here in solidarity to help us. This is an injustice to the people of this country. Therefore, as we have did over the years, since 2011, we're calling on the government of Grenada once more to make an effort to find these things so that they put them into the, archives, if we have that, or to the, you call it again, that place on the museum? The museum. And as a matter of fact, we should report that people wish today to help us to develop a documentary in chronological order similarly, so that the people of this country historically will be able to make reference to the efforts, the sacrifice of others who came here to help us, and the efforts and sacrifice of the local boys and girls that worked on the building of that airport. And additionally, Grenadians, to all Grenadians, here or abroad, someone or some group or some people or some institution possess these things that belong to us. We ask you to make noise, reclaim it, because it belongs to the people of Grenada. It is just time that we get back a huge chunk of our history that will be of certain interest to elderly folks, the men, women who were back then boys and girls, and even to the children and the future ones in this here country. A chunk of our history have been stolen from us. We urge you to help us to find it. And to the government of Grenada, through Mr. Andal, the Minister for for Foreign Affairs, to make an international effort to find this chunk of the Grenadian history and have it restored to its proper ownership. Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph. Have a nice day, will you, sir?
Thank you, and have a good day too, caller. Thank you. It's 10 minutes on to 8 o'clock. All right. Someone says, good morning. I want the authorities to know people need to sleep at nights, especially in certain hotspots. Yet the police not patrolling and giving the lawless lawbreakers permission to have fun from evening to 3 in the morning. They won't go get a job, only disturbing the place with obscene language, loud music, and gunshots. After all, time to stop allowing and encouraging those type of disturbances. Let's go back to the telephone line. We lost that caller. All right. I want to reach out and say a very special good morning and happy birthday to Jalina Dominic, all the way in the British Virgin Islands. You've got greetings coming from your mom, Donalyn Dominic. Happy birthday to you. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Innocent, good morning. How are you?
Welcome. I'm good. How are you?
Well, great. You know, this is democracy, and I am exercising my constitutional right. So if I want to call you the king or the monarch, that is left up to me. Who I want to call statesman or whoever I want, as long as I'm not defaming anybody, and you are the king, and that is it. But what I was going about, I find that these days, maybe over the last 10 years or now, last 20 years, there's a problem with maths and English. And I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter who government come or who government go. Because in my days growing up in school, etc., we never had that problem. You never used, even long after I left school and I worked in the bank, but everybody knows, both of us, we worked in the top bank, one of the top banks in the world in those days. And you never hear of people, you never hear children maths and English, but these days is a problem. I don't know if it's a system, and they keep on saying, oh, it is old colonial people and slavery and this and that. No, I'm not upholding slavery because that's the worst atrocities that was committed on mankind. But the British system, probably the British system was good after all, because we can spell innocent. My mother died at nearly 95, 96, and if you see her handwriting, she could read and she could write. She used papers. But you're hearing these days of young children who have 10 and 15 subjects and they can't read, problem in maths. I don't know what is happening in the world. And finally, so I know probably we need to bring back the old colonial system, maybe. I want to encourage people also that they should try and see if they could insure their property. And maybe the government will have to look and see if probably they could subsidize or pump some money into these insurance companies, because the insurance, the premiums definitely is a bit high. That's why I find people not insuring their property. And then when you see they're not billing back better, they're billing back very flimsy because they can't afford neither. And then when things happen, everybody blaming climate change, and making us a noise about climate change because they didn't build back better or the house is inferior. Everybody gone and blaming, which is nonsense in my position, right? But we're not going into that. So I'm just asking people, it would be so good, it probably should try and see if they could insure their property, and maybe we could ask the governments if they could have some dialogue with the insurance company to make it easier, so all these things will, when things happen, it will be less burden on the taxpayers that we now have to furnish out money, provide money to help these people. All right, so probably you could look at that, and then, like I say, maybe you might have to bring back the old colonial system where people wanna two in this kind of way, because like I tell you, my mother up to the last minute before she died, really a few months, she couldn't read and write and spell her name. Okay. So so I'm just wondering, something had to be wrong. Bring back that old colonial system of the education. Thank you, my friend. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a good one too, my friend, my dear friend. Someone says, hello, good morning, Innocent. Please let the people who are in charge of cleaning the Tantin drains know that they need to do a better job. It does not make any sense to take all the silt out of the drain and put it on the bank of the drain. They need to do better. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Hi, morning, my brother. How are you?
I am alive and thankful. Welcome to the program.
Right, good. The criteria, the rules you would have spoken about before the program began, about respect, etc., etc. I'm 100% for that. But you know what? I'm thinking, and this is how it is coming across, and how I'm interpreting it. Some people, some callers, and from what they would have said, they are supporters of the current administration, and that's right. That's a right. That's democracy. I find too much pressure, too much, or the screw is being tightened. For example, people want to vet what we say and who we criticize and who we should not criticize. We are not living in a jail. I am saying let us be respectful to everybody, but don't try to make it sound in a way or impose laws that because he is my friend or we have the authority today, be extremely sagacious in when you are making comments or even criticizing them. That is reminding me of autocracy and dictatorship. All right? Thanks very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you. I don't know if what I said had any leaning towards what you're referring. I just think that, we need to be, we need to be adults. We need to be wise. It's okay to disagree, but we could disagree in a respectable manner. So I would not want to allow my callers to go down the line of disrespecting other people by the things they say, and how you say it as well, So that's it. I'm not taking back anything from you. The program is the same. Just be mindful of the fact that you have to be respectable. All right, folks, it's 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Let's take this call and say good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning. Thank you very much for having my call.
All right, something is making a noise in the background.
Right, okay, I got it clear.
All right, yes. Go right ahead.
My concern is with the To The Point program. Now, for a few days, probably last week and the week before, you yourself was personally on the To The Point program. Now, my concern is, I raised this already with the guy, whoever does it most times. When you, To The Point program, and you have your guests, and all of these guests that come on the program, we all as Grenadians know all of them. And I don't see the need in you or any other person taking 50 minutes, for yourself, questioning sometimes the questions that you all would ask. It doesn't make any sense. We want to deal with current affairs. And there are a lot of people on the outside here who love to interact with these people. I think 10 minutes opening up the line is just not enough. It's not acceptable. I don't think that is very sensible.
Okay.
When the lady came on or a gentleman came on, 10 minutes to the program you opened, and only one person that was, able to get through on the call. I mean, that's not acceptable. That's not good enough. I hope you all will change that. I hope GBN's management, I just sometimes laugh because GBN, I just say, Grenada Broadcasting, nothing. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. Let's go to our WhatsApp platform and take this call. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I am alive and very thankful. How about you?
I'm doing well. The thing is that, I heard one of the callers previously saying how you should build back and think, and everybody cannot do this and cannot do that. Who give this caller the privilege to speak to everybody?
Okay. Caller, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, you're there? All right, good. Mm-hmm.
I think it's unfair that you should try to speak for everybody unless you is the one that is given the prerogative. But when you're making this kind of broad statement and saying that everybody cannot do this and everybody cannot afford that, nope. Speak for yourself, not for everybody, my brother. Thank you and have a nice day.
You too, bro. Have a good one, folks. And with that, we've got to pull the curtains down because it is time for us to join the BBC. Let me just take this comment here. Good morning, Gordon. I witnessed last Tuesday at the hospital's eye clinic behavior and attitude meted out to patients that made me sad. Fortunately, I can't say I personally had the same treatment. This behavior, however, was not generalized. Professionals should not let pressure break them, but build them. I do agree with that. All right, good. Folks, thank you for being a part of the program this morning. And if the good Lord spare your lives, we'll have one tomorrow. Same time, same place, same frequencies, channels, and platforms. Have yourself a blessed day if you've got to leave us. Or if you don't, stay with us. There'll be great music after the BBC. Bye-bye.